Cortland Simmons with you here at the CS Racing Report. And of course, this is the Road to the Roses series, making a pit stop at Oaklawn Park, Hot Springs, Arkansas for the $1 million Grade 2 Rebel Stakes, 1 mile and a 16th, 85 points being allotted, 50 to first, 20 to second, 10 to third, and then, of course, 5 points to the fourth place finisher. Field of 8 was drawn, headlined by BOB BAFFERT's NADAL, named after tennis legend Rafa Nadal, the winner of the San Vicente Stakes. Let's take a look at the 8 entries in this Rebel Stakes. Steve Asmussen has 3 entrants among the 8, but coming from the number 1 is the favorite, Nadal. He'll likely be the post-time favorite, 9 to 5 on the morning line. His Equibase speed figures 102 in his debut, and then, of course, a 107 in beating Ginobili in the San Vicente. Nadal, 9 to 5 out of number 1. Number 2 is one of Asmussen's 3, Accession. Did not compete very well in Louisiana in 2 stake races down there. 20 to 1, 79 Equibase speed figure. He's 1 for 8 in his career. His 1 win does come at the home of the Kentucky Derby at Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky, but he is a little low on the speed figs. Accession coming out of post number 2. Number 3 is another Asmussen trainee. He is the Hopeful Stakes winner from 2019. His name is Basin, 7 to 2. 96 Equibase speed figure that puts him in the area code. He's 2 for 3 in his career, 2 wins and 1 second. He's been on a long layoff, has not run since winning over an off track at Saratoga in that Grade 1 race. So there are a lot of question marks about his fitness level and his ability to be competitive against this group of horses. Basin out of number 3. Number 4, another Asmussen trainee, rounding out the trifecta of his horses in here. Silver Prospector, 3 for 8 in his career, winner of 2 graded stakes around 2 turns, winning the Kentucky Jockey Club at the Rebel Distance, where he posted a 92 Equibase, and then he improved nicely after a disappointing 4th in the Smarty Jones in the Southwest, the second of 4 major Derby preps at Oaklawn for the Run for the Roses. He ran a 103, which is much better than the 92 in that Southwest. He is a son of Declaration of War, Grade 1 Grade 1 winner over in Europe, or trainer Aidan O'Brien. So Silver Prospector comes out of number 4, and he's 4 to 1 on the morning line. Number 5 is one of the more interesting X Factor / entities in this race. That would be Tom Amos's No Parole. He is 6 to 1. We'll see how those odds fluctuate as the seconds and minutes lead up to, in the seconds and minutes leading up to post time. He has a 102 Equibase speed figure, and that is impressive despite the fact there may be a caveat in the minds of many that he's 3 for 3 against state breds in Louisiana. So can you get past, or can he get past his prowess against Louisiana breds and do as well in open company? No Parole, 6 to 1 coming out of post number 5. Then number 6, a horse a lot of people are high on, owned by, of course, Hall of Fame coach Bill Parcells. His name is 3 Technique. He was a very, very strong second in the Smarty Jones in that short and stretch run at a mile. He ran a 94 in that race. He's been favored in all his races. He's 2 for 5 in his career, 2 wins, 3 seconds. He comes in here as a stalk and pounce type. He's a closer. We'll see how those what tactics he will employ based on the upfront pace. He will be coming out of number 6, 3 Technique, with that 94 Equibase speed figure, like Basin, a little lower than the top couple horses in here, but still very, very, very competitive. We'll see if he can improve. Number 7 is Coach Bay at 20 to 1. And then, of course, the number 8, another one of the horses of the pair that have been on long layoffs, American Theorem, second to BOB BAFFERT's 8 Rings. Like 8 Rings, it's been a while since he's run. Since that race, 8 Rings ran in the Breeders' Cup. American Theorem has not been seen since finishing a distant second in that American Pharaoh. And so, like Basin, he comes in. Those two come in as a duo that are coming in off long layoffs, and everyone's really wondering how sharp they will be and will they run well enough to set themselves up for that 9 furlong prep. His Equibase has to improve from the 78 he got in the American Pharaoh, and perhaps it will, because he is a son of the 2015 Triple Crown winner. So American Theorem comes in as an X factor, a lot of mystery surrounding him, as well as Basin in this 8-horse field, which leads me to the picks for this 2020 edition of the Rebel Stakes, which BOB BAFFERT has won 6 times. Steve Asmussen has had 4 horses enter the winner's circle in this Rebel Stakes in his Hall of Fame career. Let's take a look at the picks. There are a lot of different scenarios, even amongst the 8 that you can play in order to make your handicapping selections here. And I would imagine a lot of you are going to make multiple picks rather than just wager one way in your superfectas and pick 5 and so forth, whether you're picking exactors or tries, or as I said before, the aforementioned superfectas. Let's look at the first one. I think that it would be, in the minds of some, a bit of an upset, but Silver Prospector is the most accomplished really on paper. I have him on top of my superfecta number 1, the 4, the 6, the 1, and the 3. So that would be Silver Prospector, 3 Technique, Nadal finishing 3rd, and the number 3 Basin actually running a credible 4th and getting 5 points in superfecta scenario number 1. 4, 6, 1, 3. Then your second one could be the number 6. This is what I have. Number 6 Silver, number 6 3 Technique over Nadal, winning that, and then Silver Prospector, the number 4, finishing 3rd, and then the number 8, that would be American Theorem, actually maybe defying some of the odds people have against him with this long layoff, finishing 4th, or you even could slot Basin in, the other horse on the long layoff, the number 3. So I have in the second scenario of superfectas the 6, the 1, the 4, and the 8, or you can flex that a little bit on that final part of the superfecta, the 6, the 1, the 4, and the 3. That would be Basin, the number 3 horse. And then my final pick, you know me, you know how it is. I like Nadal in here. He's going up against some really nice company. The pedigree, his running style, his fluidity, but he is running. He's taking his show on the road. No blinkers. He's coming out of the 1. He's going to be sent. There's no question about that. But the question will be, will he be in a procured rush to get to the lead? Will he really be resistant upon giving that lead up? And will he be too headstrong, or will he be able to rate? And if he gets outrun, he can sit and rate and sort of stalk and pounce and use his speed to maintain his position and then finish effectively. And I think he can possibly do that. We'll just see how he comes out of the number 1. We know No Parole is going to show speed. And then when you look at the chart, you have 2 or 3 horses, whether it be 3 Technique or Accession, and even Basin himself and Silver Prospector, that are either stalk and pouncers or closers. So that'll be very interesting. But anyway, let's get to the pick in terms of the numbers that you can plug in. That would be Nadal, the number 1, the number 4, that would be Silver Prospector, getting 20 points, the number 6 3 Technique, and then the number 5, that would be No Parole, holding in, hanging in there. His speed will allow him to hang on for the 4th spot and round out that superfecta, the 1, the 4, the 6, or the 5, or you can flex that final pick, that final pick of 4 that I have there, that final 4, the 1, the 4, the 6, and the 3, and that would be Basin. So those are my final picks with that superfecta, the 4th place horse. You can use a couple different horses with Nadal on top for the 2020 edition of the Rebel Stakes. And we'll recap the 2020 edition of this major prep from Hot Springs, Arkansas at Oaklawn Park, right here at the CS Racing Report.